Hello, child of fire Aries. If you're hearing these words tonight, it's not by chance. Something in the universe is whispering your name, calling you softly, pulling you closer. November 12th isn't just another day, it's a turning point, a moment your soul has been waiting for. You might have felt it already, a strange energy rising inside you, a quiet restlessness in your chest, a few nights of uneasy sleep, a sense that the world around you is shifting in some invisible way. Don't be afraid. This stirring isn't here to trouble you. It's here to awaken you. Tonight, let me tell you a story the universe has written just for you. It's about a divine disruption, about the light that follows the storm, about the journey your spirit is about to begin. Take a slow breath. Let your heart grow still. Because the first thing you need to understand is why November 12th is known as the day your Aries soul awakens. Everything begins quietly, like the way your breath slows just before a heavy rain. The sky still looks clear, yet deep beneath the ground, something ancient begins to stir. November 12th doesn't come to frighten you or to take anything away. It simply opens a door you've walked past many times but never had the courage to push open. In that moment, you might feel your heart grow heavy, as if you're carrying the entire sky. But what you're really feeling is your soul trying to slip out of a shell that has become too small. Life isn't always gentle when it wants to wake us up. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it tears through everything just to remind us it's time to rise. Aries, you've been strong for too long. You've fought with reason, with grit, with that familiar fire that never lets you rest. But real strength isn't always about holding on. Sometimes it's about letting go, allowing things to fall where the universe intends, allowing the light to touch the corners you've kept hidden for far too long. People fear loss because they believe what disappears will never return. But for you, what's leaving now is only the ash of an old fire. Once the ash is gone, a new flame will rise. Some deep part of you has been longing for this change, truth, freedom. You just weren't ready to face the wind that would come with it. But the wind is blowing now, and hiding is no longer an option. Not because fate demands it, but because your soul has chosen to grow. Imagine yourself standing in an open field after the storm. Nothing left to cling to, nothing left to protect you, only the wind and the sound of your own heartbeat. In that emptiness, you'll hear something real, the voice of your true self, unfiltered by fear or expectation. That's the moment you start to see, not because the world has changed, but because your eyes finally have. You might wonder why things must fall apart before they can begin again. The answer isn't in words, it's in what you feel. A seed only breaks open when it's ready to grow. You, too, must crack to reveal the life inside. November 12th is that crack, not to hurt you, but to let the light in. Every wound you've carried had a purpose. Each one was an opening, a small door through which wisdom and faith could enter. So give yourself permission to be still within this shaking. You don't need to rush for answers or resist what's unfolding. Truth never arrives to destroy you, it arrives to set you free. Everything happening right now has its meaning, even if you can't see it yet. The universe hasn't forgotten you. It's clearing your path, so you can walk forward unchained from fear. Take a slow, deep breath, Aries. Feel your heartbeat sinking with the rhythm of the earth. The storm is passing, but inside you, something new is forming, a warmth, a calm, a quiet strength that feels like home. It whispers gently, it's time to stop fighting what's gone. Time to listen to what's calling ahead. No noise, no rush, only a soft invitation, like wind across your face. Step forward, just one more step. Because right beyond the edge of your fear, a brand new chapter of your life is waiting to begin. In every life, there are quiet chapters, journeys that only reveal their meaning once you've walked all the way through. For the past 7 years, you've been on one of those paths, a stretch of trials, losses, collisions, moments that seemed senseless at the time. Yet through it all, your soul has been sculpted little by little like a rough stone being polished until it gleams. Every tear you shed, every goodbye that chilled your heart, every time you thought you had nothing left, each one was proof of your evolution. Now, as the gate of November 12th opens, you're standing at the threshold between two worlds, the old and the new. There's no trumpet sound, no lightning flash, just a warm, quiet current moving through every breath you take. It whispers that everything behind you has already served its purpose. What needs to leave will fade away on its own. What belongs to you will find its way back softly, like the wind returning home. There's nothing left to grip, nothing left to chase. Maybe lately, your dreams have felt different, unfamiliar roads, faces from long ago appearing in a hazy glow. That's not coincidence. It's your deeper self sending you a message. A cycle has ended. The body always senses what the mind has yet to understand. You might feel more tender than usual, quieter, or craving solitude in the middle of the night. These are not signs of weakness, they're proof that your soul is shifting. Inside every cell, a kind of rebirth is taking place. Like a tree gathering sunlight before it blooms again, you are collecting enough light to rise anew. The energy of 11/12 doesn't just open a door for new beginnings. It closes everything that once made you small. It teaches you the hardest lesson of all, to accept that not everything needs to be explained. Some things are meant only to be experienced. Some changes are meant only to be trusted. If you've noticed repeating numbers 11, 11, 2, 22, 5, 55, those are not random. Each time you see them, pause for a second, breathe deeply, and remind yourself the universe is here with me. Maybe you'll spot a feather drifting across your path, or hear an old song that suddenly feels personal again. Those are quiet confirmations that you're exactly where you need to be. Even if you can't see the destination, every single step carries purpose. For 7 years, you've been wearing an old costume, a set of roles, duties, and identities you thought you had to live by. But now, the door of November 12th opens for you to return to your truest form, lighter, freer, more whole. You don't have to chase anyone, prove anything, or meet expectations. You only have to breathe, to live honestly with what you feel, whether that's a tear or a smile. Life has its own way of guiding us to the right place at the right time. No one comes here just to survive. You came to awaken, to understand, to love, to rebuild yourself from the pieces you've outgrown. When one chapter closes, it's never an ending, it's an invitation to rise higher. Now, as the wind of November 12th brushes your shoulder, let your heart settle like still water. Don't rush to ask what's coming next. Let life move you in its own rhythm. Soon, light will appear in the places you once thought were dark. A quiet calling will begin to echo, guiding you toward what's meant for you. And while the world outside continues to spin, something deep within you is already stirring, ready to cross the threshold into a new chapter where the light will gently illuminate each step your soul takes forward. Not every ending is something to fear. Sometimes, it's simply life opening a window to let the real air in. In recent days, you may have felt a quiet shift in your relationship, a subtle change you can't quite name. The false calm has faded. The polite words that used to smooth things over no longer work. Everything feels more transparent now, more honest. A glance, a silence, a single sentence is enough for you to know something is different. Love cannot survive forever in the shadows. When light pours in, what's been hidden will always come to the surface, whether you're ready or not. You might hear a confession, you might stumble upon a truth, or maybe you'll simply feel it that the rhythm of your heart no longer beats the same way. Truth doesn't always knock. It slips in softly, like breath against glass, yet it's strong enough to shake the whole room of your emotions. Aries, you are fire, and fire cannot breathe in a closed room. When love turns into routine, when two people stay only out of habit or fear of emptiness, Your spirit begins to suffocate. Life doesn't send these storms to punish you, it sends them to return your right to breathe freely again. You may cry, you may rage, you may feel as if your world is collapsing. But beneath those crashing waves, a quiet current is at work, washing away fear, clearing space for light to enter. Sometimes we love from fear, fear of losing, fear of loneliness, fear that no one better will come. But the universe loves us differently. It removes what no longer belongs to us, to teach us how to love with freedom. If you stand now between holding on and letting go, don't choose out of habit. Choose from the heart. Ask yourself, where can I still be my truest self? Maybe you'll see it now that the person who once made your heart tremble is simply a chapter that has reached its final page. Not because love is gone, but because both souls have learned what they came here to learn. Letting go isn't failure, it's respect for both of you. So each can return to their own path without blame, without chains. If there's still a thread of destiny, love will find its way back, but by then, you'll both be different. If not, you'll still smile, knowing you gave fully, lived deeply, loved completely. Every love, no matter how it ends, stretches the heart wider, makes it softer, wiser, more human. There will come a day when you sit quietly one afternoon, gaze at the sky, and feel your heart as light as a cloud. You'll realize that what left never truly took anything away. It only made space for something truer, gentler to arrive. Real love needs no promises, no reasons, no victories. It only needs the honesty of two souls, unafraid to be seen as they are. Now, let your heart rest. Don't rush to fill the silence with another presence. Let the wind pass through your chest. Let the lingering warmth turn into a tender memory. When peace returns, you'll understand freedom isn't loneliness. It's the highest form of love. And in that radiant stillness, you'll begin to hear a new whisper from the universe, a quiet calling, inviting you to step deeper into the journey of rebirth that's waiting just ahead. Life always finds its own way to test a person's courage, especially for those who carry fire in their soul, like you, Aries. You've worked hard, stayed responsible, held everything together, convincing yourself that stability means safety. But deep down, you know something inside you has gone quiet. The spark that once lit you up has dimmed. What used to be passion now feels like duty. And every day, it's as if you're playing the same old song that's lost its melody. Around November 12th, or the days near it, an unexpected signal may arrive. It could be a message, an offer, a sudden event that forces you to stop. On the surface, it might look like a loss, a job ending, a contract canceled, a door closing. But in truth, it's a subtle act of grace from the universe, a reminder that you've outgrown the space you've been standing in. Just as a tree cannot keep growing in a pot too small, your soul now needs wider ground, more room to root, to rise, to breathe. Yes, there may be a moment of panic, a flicker of fear when the familiar begins to shake, but don't rush to hold on. What's truly meant for you will never require you to cling to it. And what's leaving has already served its purpose. Aries, you weren't born to play it safe. You were born to pioneer, to create, to lead. What's ahead isn't just a new job or opportunity, it's a more mature version of you. Someone who no longer measures worth by income or title, but by how alive you feel each morning when you wake. You may feel drawn toward something you once feared, or finally see the courage to begin again. A hobby could turn into your next calling. An old idea you once set aside might suddenly find its way forward. That's not coincidence, it's alignment. The universe is rearranging the board, moving every piece so you can stand exactly where you were meant to all along. Even your finances are adjusting to your new frequency. The flow of money always follows the flow of belief. When you stop working from fear of lack and start working from joy, purpose, and creativity, abundance will follow naturally. Sometimes the universe must close one financial door so you have no choice but to trust and receive something far greater. Remember this: you were not made to work for fear. You were made to build, to inspire, to bring something real into this world. Everything that's collapsing now are just the structures that no longer fit your spirit. Once they fall away, you'll see the first glimmers of a new path, one where work no longer feels like a burden, but an extension of your purpose. So take a breath, pause for a moment. Feel the quiet under all the plans and numbers and listen. There's a voice inside, steady and honest, asking, what makes you feel truly alive? When you answer that question, your path will appear. No rush, no calculation, just sincerity and the courage to follow what makes your soul light up. Because when you finally dare to step out of your comfort zone, the entire universe will shift to meet you there. New currents will carry you. Unexpected opportunities, aligned people, and divine timing will start unfolding right before your eyes. That's the reward for courage. And while you may still be standing in awe of what's changing, you might not realize yet this leap you just took is not an ending. It's the first breath of a brand new chapter. One written in truth, creativity, and the freedom you've been longing for all along. Sometimes the body understands long before the mind does. Before we even realize we're changing, the body begins to speak through fatigue, restless sleep, or that heavy feeling in the chest. You're not getting weaker. It's just that the old energy inside you is looking for a way out. Every headache, every racing heartbeat, every uneven breath carries a message. Your soul is cleansing itself, clearing away what no longer belongs. The body is the most loyal companion the soul will ever have. It doesn't know how to lie. It doesn't pretend to be strong. When your heart carries too much unspoken weight, the body speaks for you. When you hold back your tears, they find another way to fall through tension, through exhaustion, through that quiet wish to stay in bed and hide from the day. But if you listen closely, you'll discover something sacred underneath the tiredness, the movement of renewal, the quiet labor of rebirth. Aries, you're a creature of action. You're used to getting up right after the fall, solving things with reason, with strength. But this isn't a battle to win. It's a time to rest, to soften, to allow yourself to be still. Because only in stillness can the body find space to heal. Just as the ocean reflects the sky only when it's calm, your soul can only see itself clearly when your body is at peace. Notice what happens when you stop trying so hard. Your breath deepens, your shoulders drop, your heart slows. In that quiet rhythm, you can hear the gentle hum of life blood moving, wind brushing past, the steady pulse of existence itself. That's the sign of rebirth. No drama, no noise, just everything inside you quietly renewing. Worry turns into wisdom, pain turns into understanding. Your body is shedding old layers so your soul can breathe again as if for the very first time. Don't use work, screens, or food to cover what you feel. Each time you suppress emotion, you delay your healing. Instead, sit still. Take a long breath. Place your hand over your heart. Feel each beat, each wave of warmth beneath your palm. Whisper to your body, "Thank you for staying, even when I forgot you were here." That's all it takes to begin healing. There will come a day when you wake up without trying to feel okay. Not because the pain is gone, but because it's finally blended into wisdom. You'll see that true health isn't just the absence of illness. It's when your mind, heart, and soul begin to move together in one steady rhythm. If this season feels slow or heavy, remember even the earth must rest after the harvest. Your body is only doing what is natural, returning to balance. Every deep sleep rewires your energy. Every drop of sweat washes away a piece of the past. Let everything flow through you, like a river carrying away the dry leaves of last year. You don't have to force anything, only stop resisting. Once your energy clears, you'll feel lighter, freer, like air itself. Every ache, every wave of fatigue becomes a step toward peace. In the deepest part of you, you'll realize this body is a sacred temple, the home of your soul. Treat it with gratitude. Let every breath become a quiet prayer, every night's sleep a gentle act of rebirth. Because within the silence of the body, a new voice is awakening the sound of pure life, waiting to be heard, softly guiding you forward into the light that only cleansed hearts can reach. Time has its own way of testing the human heart. When one door closes, the past often knocks softly, almost tenderly, as if to ask whether you've truly let go, or if a small piece of yesterday still lives within you. It might arrive as a sudden message, a late-night hello, or an old song that catches you off guard. These aren't calls to return. They're mirrors, gentle reflections asking you to look at yourself through new light. Are you still bound, or are you finally free? An old flame may reappear, not to reconnect, but to measure how far you've come. Their return is like a mirror held up to your evolution, showing you what you've released and what still holds you. Don't rush to call it fate. Sometimes fate isn't about two souls finding each other again. It's about meeting one last time to say a true goodbye. Listen to what you feel, but don't let feelings make the decisions for you. If you can think of them and feel peace, the lesson is complete. If your heart still trembles, if your hands still tighten, then there's healing left to do. While the past whispers at your door, something new is quietly drawing near. It doesn't shout, it doesn't dazzle, it doesn't promise. It simply is. This person might be someone you've crossed paths with before and barely noticed, or someone entirely new, whose presence feels unexpectedly calm. They don't make your pulse race in chaos. They make you feel safe. They don't feed your doubts. They restore your trust. Next to them, you don't need to shrink or perform, you can simply be. They come not to sweep you away, but to remind you that love can be gentle, steady, and real. The emptiness of recent days, that silence you mistook for loneliness, has actually been sacred space, the pause your soul needed to realign. When the past no longer pulls you back, the future can finally be heard. And in that stillness, you begin to see people differently. Some you thought would walk beside you forever quietly fade. Others, the ones you barely noticed before, are suddenly right there, patient, kind, waiting for you to open your heart. Don't fear the shifts in your relationships. Change is how the soul filters truth. The ones who are meant to stay will stay without you having to hold on. The ones who were meant to teach you will leave no matter how tightly you cling. When someone exits your life, don't ask why they left, ask what they came to teach. Every meeting carries meaning deeper than emotion. Aries, the love meant for you now isn't thunder or lightning, it's a lantern glowing softly on your path. It comes quietly, but it lasts. It doesn't make you lose balance. It helps you find your footing. Don't look for someone to erase your past. Look for the one who makes you want to live fully in the present. When you accept that every relationship has its season, you stop fearing solitude. You begin to see that solitude is sacred, a time when your soul recalibrates its frequency to attract those who truly belong. And one ordinary afternoon, when you're not searching for anything, a glance, a smile, or a small conversation light as breath will open your heart again. Not because someone made you forget, but because you're finally ready to love differently, more deeply, more quietly, more clearly. Through all the meetings and partings, you'll come to understand the right person doesn't arrive to complete you, but to reveal the best within you. And as the new wind moves through your life, you'll see it clearly at last. Everyone who's ever come and gone was leading you here, to this exact moment where you are, finally strong enough, wise enough, and open enough to recognize the worth of a love that's real, and to know, with quiet certainty, that everything ahead can only be better. The morning of November 12th doesn't just arrive with sunlight, it comes with a different rhythm, a pulse beneath the air. Everything feels quieter, deeper, as if the whole world is holding its breath, waiting for you to awaken. This isn't a day to chase the pace of others, it's a day to listen to the rhythm of your own heart. If you can, begin a little earlier than usual while the air is still cool, before your mind fills with messages, news, and plans. Sit down. Take a slow, unhurried breath. Let the sound of your breathing become the only sound in the room. Your body is carrying more than you realize. Every memory, every emotion, every unspoken word leaves a trace behind. Today is the day to release them, not through thought, but through the quiet ritual of presence. When you speak your affirmations, don't recite them like a spell. Let each word soak into you, the way rain softens dry earth. Every time you say, "I release," you're loosening another invisible knot. Every time you whisper, "I trust the flow of life," you're opening your arms for the wind and the light to pass through. If your chest grows warm, if tears rise in your eyes, don't stop them. That's not weakness. That's old energy melting away. Emotions may surface suddenly, a quiet sadness, a memory you thought was gone, the face of someone who once hurt you. Let them pass through, like waves reaching the shore and retreating on their own. Don't analyze. Don't force yourself to feel happy. Just stay still, breathe deeply, and know that your own breath is purifying you. Today, you may notice things moving faster than usual, a call, a message, a sudden change that demands your attention. Remember, you don't have to answer right away. You don't have to explain or rush. When the heart burns too hot, words can become weapons. When emotions are still cloudy, action can go astray. Let the dust settle. Let the water clear. When your heart grows calm again, the truth will rise gently, like a leaf floating to the surface. Tonight, before you sleep, turn off the harsh lights and sit in a soft glow. Place your hand over your heart. Feel its steady rhythm, the quiet reminder that life keeps moving through you, no matter what happens outside. Read your affirmations once more, this time as a thank you. Thank yourself for making it through a day of change without losing your kindness. Thank yourself for choosing stillness over reaction. And when you reach the words, "What belongs to me by divine right will never be lost," let a gentle trust open inside you. Believe that what's meant for you will always find its way, one way or another. And what leaves has simply finished its work. Letting go isn't surrender, it's standing in your rightful place, in clarity and peace, knowing everything unfolds in its own sacred order. If today you feel the urge to cry, let the tears come. If you need silence, embrace it. Don't try to be unbreakable. True strength isn't about never breaking, it's about smiling softly, even as you fall apart, knowing that every fracture leads you back to light. And when the night finally closes, let your sleep become the last doorway, the one through which new energy quietly enters. Then tomorrow, when you wake, you'll notice something, a new space within you. Empty, but not lonely, like a piece of land cleared and ready for new seeds. That stillness you feel isn't absence, it's an invitation, a gentle call from the universe, asking you to keep walking lighter, brighter, and steadier than ever before. After every upheaval, light never comes right away. It waits until you've learned what the darkness came to teach. Then it enters, quietly, gently, as if it's always been there. The first 30 days after November 12th will unfold like that, quiet but extraordinary. You'll notice your body feels lighter, your gaze clearer, your heartbeat slower, calmer. Something within you shifts, not in how you look or speak, but in the energy you carry. People around you will feel it, even if you say nothing at all. December will open like the morning after a storm. Everything is still damp, but the air feels astonishingly pure. This is the time to build new foundations, slow, steady, without the old rush. Someone will appear, maybe through work, maybe by chance, not to rescue you, but to hold a small light so you can see your path again. They won't lead you. They'll remind you that you can lead yourself. As January arrives, the seeds you quietly planted begin to sprout. a message of encouragement, a small opportunity, a sign that makes you smile, each one a gentle confirmation that you're moving in the right direction. Your faith in the universe begins to return, but this time, it's not the desperate hope of someone begging for a miracle. It's the steady gratitude of someone who lost everything and realized they still had themselves. By February, you'll look back and see it clearly. That explosion day didn't destroy you, it freed you. You'll thank the tears, the sleepless nights, because they were bridges carrying you to the other side of understanding. You're not the same anymore. Your voice is deeper, your eyes calmer, and the peace within you has become strength. Over the next 6 months, 3 significant souls will enter your life. One will open a professional door, a chance you once dreamed of but didn't dare take. Another will teach you about love, not the kind that burns, but the kind that warms, where you can simply be yourself without shrinking or pretending. The third will become a mirror, a true friend reflecting the person you're becoming. None of them will come to fix you. They'll come to walk beside you, to prove that healing always brings its own kind of grace. When your inner world and the outer world finally begin to move in harmony, you'll understand. The universe never wanted to hurt you, only to wake you. Every ending, every door that closed, was guiding you here to the place where you can live honestly, love deeply, and breathe freely. Now, whisper once more the words you've kept in your heart. I accept transformation, and I trust the universe. Let that sentence rise like the last breath of the storm and the first note of your new dawn. Thank you for walking with me through this journey. Thank you for allowing your heart to open, even just a little, so the light could find its way in. Wherever you are beginning again, rebuilding, or rising, know this: you are not alone. Every healing soul moves with you, carried by the same current of love and faith. So I wish you this, Aries, child of fire, bearer of life. May you step into the coming days with a heart as light as wind, eyes bright with hope, and the quiet knowing that everything arriving now is right on time. Until we meet again under a new sky, where the light will always know how to find you.